to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
I think if you're a celebrity and you're in there, you know that's going to happen.
Sure.
Maybe, this was his wife, so it was different.
Right.
But I'm not sure you run up and punch someone in the face.
Did you see how famous actors and celebrities such as Tiffany Haddish and Will Smith's own flesh and blood responded and reacted to Will slapping Chris Rock? Stay tuned till the end to catch a glimpse of what he had to say about the whole deal. You definitely don't want to miss out on this one. Even individuals who didn't watch the Oscars on Sunday night undoubtedly heard about the slap, and many celebs, regardless of whether they witnessed it in person, have expressed their opinions. On Sunday night's Oscar presentation, a really spectacular occurrence took the globe by storm, drawing similarities to other iconic moments in the award show's long history. According to this one Twitter user, Will Smith slapping Chris Rock might be more iconic than Kanye calling out Taylor Swift. Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Smith's hair matching Demi Moore's shaved head for the movie G.I. Jane. Jada, 50, was visibly unamused, rolling her eyes from her seat. A huge reason why the family was triggered was that Jada had already been suffering from alopecia, and the joke targeted something she's already very vulnerable and vocal about. Jada has been suffering from an illness called alopecia areata for a long time now. This is the same illness that caused her hair loss. However, Chris Rock apparently wasn't as sensitive about her hair loss as he probably should have been. He made a joke about it, and it irked Smith. On social media, Jada had repeatedly acknowledged the difficulties of hair loss, so it wasn't like it was a secret. Seconds later, Will, 53, walked on stage and approached Rock, smacking him in front of the audience and millions watching the telecast at home. Back at his table, Will shouted to a stunned Rock, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth." Rock declined to press charges. The most savage reaction was given by Tiffany Haddish. As an Oscar presenter, Haddish was on hand to watch the slap, and her reaction was one of appreciation more than consternation. On Monday, she spoke to the importance of protecting and supporting women. "When I saw a black man stand up for his wife, that meant so much to me," Haddish told People magazine in the aftermath. As a woman who has been unprotected, for someone to say, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth, leave my wife alone," that's what your husband is supposed to do, right? Protect you. But that was not the view of everyone. Other comedians were super mad at how Chris Rock had been slapped, and they feared for their own safety as well. According to them, Will Smith smacking a comedian for a joke sets a bad precedence and makes their lives as comedians pretty dangerous. Comedian Kathy Griffin added in her own post, "Let me tell you something. It's a very bad practice to walk up on stage and physically assault a comedian. Now we all have to worry about who wants to be the next Will Smith in comedy clubs and theaters." Cheryl Underwood was also of the same view. She said, "I'm going to say this as a comic. I am afraid now to get on stage. Because in my third show, when everyone's been drinking, if you don't like my joke, do you now believe that you can get up and slap me?" Amy Schumer was also pretty upset, and she directly verbally attacked Smith. While Schumer, a co-star of Sunday's ceremony, reacted well in the immediate aftermath of the slap, her later reaction was, to say the least, disappointing. Schumer wrote on Instagram that she was triggered and traumatized by the event. Of course, watching the slap occur in real time must have been upsetting, but Schumer's words arguably fit into a long legacy of white women overstating harm and centering ourselves in situations that don't actually involve us. In a now deleted tweet, Apatow criticized Smith's behavior, writing that the actor could have killed Rock, which is hard to wrap one's head around. Smith's actions were certainly alarming, but I'm pretty sure the mortality rate from an open hand slap is fairly low. And whether he intended to or not, Apatow's characterization of Smith's pure out-of-control rage and violence lay into some ugly and long-existing stereotypes about African-American men. Minnie Driver spoke with People at the Vanity Fair Oscar party, saying of the incident, "I think that we were part of something incredibly personal, and it broke my heart. Deeply personal between some people. It was, I don't know. The world right now, we're living in high-stress times. People feel things incredibly deeply, and it's an expression of that." There were other people who were furious at Will Smith for doing what he did, which included an ESPN member as well. ESPN personality Stephen A. Smith said in a video on Twitter that it was a shameful act, acknowledging that he's a fan of Will but cannot condone violence. There's no excuse for that. Don't even try to justify it. Stephen also tweeted that Will just stayed in the greatest moment of his career. You cannot do that stuff, especially as a black man in that position to another black man on that stage. Some people were also not just mad at Will Smith, but also pissed at the Oscars for letting him stay. Among these people was the famous Wanda Sykes. Sykes also talked about the experience on Wednesday, telling Ellen DeGeneres she didn't see the actual slap, but saw Smith yelling at Rock from his seat. I just was like, is this really happening? I just felt so awful for my friend Chris, Sykes said on the Ellen show. It was sickening. It was absolutely sickening. I physically felt ill. I'm still a little traumatized by it. DeGeneres said she was traumatized too. Sykes also said she didn't think Smith would be allowed to stay and accept his Best Actor award. But he did. You assault somebody, you get escorted out of the building, and that's it. But for them to let him continue, I thought it was gross. Although Will Smith did apologize for the incident, it didn't seem very sincere when he did it at the Oscars while winning the award. Oh man, Richard Williams was a fierce defender of his family, Smith said, relating his behavior to the role he played in the film. I'm being called on in my life to love people and to protect people and to be a river to my people. I know to do what we do, you gotta be able to take abuse. You gotta be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you gotta be able to have people disrespecting you. And you gotta smile. You gotta pretend like that's okay. Smith later on apologized to the Academy and his fellow nominees after being named Best Actor shortly after the incident, saying, "Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said, but love will make you do crazy things." But it looks like Will Smith realized that his apology did not look sincere enough. How do we know that? Well, soon after the incident, when the backlash began, he talked about it again. He later apologized directly to the presenter the following day in a lengthy statement. "I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris," Smith wrote via Instagram on March 28th. "I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness." Some people in the audience were on Will's side. Among these people was famous director Michael Bay. Here is what he had to say. "I've worked with him. He is not that guy." The Bad Boys director told Yahoo Entertainment of Smith, confessing he thought the slap was a bit at first. "I've never seen him lose his cool like that. I thought it was set up because I saw the smirk, and I've been on set when Will screws with people, when he's joking with people." He also added that he would 100% work with Will again given the chance. Bay said that Smith's reaction was wrong, but also noted that there are bigger issues in the world that deserve attention. "But that's all people are talking about," he added, "and I don't really care. Hollywood gets really self-absorbed. There are babies getting blown up in Ukraine right now. We should be talking about that." Do you think there were only two sides to this story? There were some who were completely indifferent about the entire debacle, which included Daniel Radcliffe. Here is what he had to say. "I'm just so already dramatically bored of hearing people's opinions about it, and I don't want to be another opinion added to it," the Harry Potter star explained. And that's it for today, y'all. Thanks for sticking around. Check out some of these other videos we have for you. And we'll see you next time.